How Egypt sank two empires by sinking 40 ships. Welcome to Legends Untold. The year is 1956. Britain and France fling 40,000 troops at Egypt, betting on a quick, tidy win. Instead, a bulldozer, 40 crusty freighters, and one steaming mad colonel named Nasser flipped the chessboard. Before Londoners could finish their morning commute, the shiniest empires on the planet were stuck in the sand, because Egypt had sunk its own ships. Section 1, 5 miles that paid the bills. The Suez Canal stretches just 120 miles, but 5 of them keep Europe's lights on. 2/3 of Britain's oil and a mountain of NATO armor rode that skinny blue stripe to the Med. Whoever cashed the tolls at the price of petrol from Liverpool to Rotterdam. One July evening, Washington and London told Nasser, no cash for your shiny new dam. By sunrise he'd nationalized the canal, pocketed the tolls, and vowed to bankroll Egypt's dream himself. London and Paris smelled a slap in the face, and reached for the gunboats. Section 2, the secret handshake. While Hungary blazed across headlines, Britain's Anthony Eden, France's Guy Mallet, and Israel's David Ben-Gurion slipped into a Paris villa. Out came Operation Musketeer. Israel punches across Sinai, Britain and France plead for a ceasefire, Nasser says no, 500 paratroopers drop in, rescue the canal, and restore international control. Eden told his cabinet it would be a neat police action, over before the Christmas ads aired. They forgot to budget for the bulldozer. Section 3, the night the water swallowed steel. The 1st of November, RAF Canberra's shred Cairo's radio tower. The 5th of November, red berets drift over port. Said Nasser's army is reeling, but his engineers know cranes and winches. The order crackles from Cairo, scuttle anything that floats, choke the canal like a bathtub drain. Tugs nudge aging freighters into the channel, open the seacocks, weld the hatches, then fling dynamite into the engines for good measure. 40 hulls, grain carriers, rust bucket tankers, even a Nile tourist paddle steamer, kiss the bottom in 24 frantic hours. The canal, once 200 meters wide, drops to zero. British logisticians watch their maps turn crimson, the shortcuts gone. 15,000-ton supply ships now face the 12,000-mile slog around Africa, and every gallon of aviation fuel for the paratroopers has to be flown in from Cyprus or Malta. Section 4, the phone call that sank the pound. British tanks idle in the sand while the Bank of England bleeds gold. Washington, furious its allies staged a colonial stunt without a heads-up, refuses to prop up the pound and blocks IMF life support. Petrol coupons reappear in British kitchens for the first time since the war, rationing stretches from December to May. French refineries cough, strikes flare in Marseille. Eden's cabinet papers show ministers whispering, can we hold ports? Said if sterling collapses. Eisenhower answers, get out, or the pound sinks alone. 2 weeks after landing, the last Anglo-French soldier salutes the flag and sails home, past the jagged masts still poking above Suez's brown water. Section 5, bulldozers versus battleships on the ground. Egypt loses Sinai. In the ledger it chains two empires to their own arrogance. The canal stays dark for 5 months, long enough for UN helmets to turn blue and for Nasser to parade as the Arab David who KO'd 2 Goliaths. Britain's Prime Minister quits within 10 weeks, France pivots into the European common market, and the superpower baton quietly hops the Atlantic. When salvage teams finally refloat the last hulk in April 1957, the age of European gunboat diplomacy is already buried under the same silt. Conclusion: CTA, one desperate blockade rewired the 20th century. Which forgotten twist is still hiding in your history textbook? Tell me below, hit subscribe for more small moments that moved big history, and share this with anyone who still thinks ships are only useful when they stay afloat.